All right, team, let's get straight to it. You've been putting in the revision, you know the content, but you're asking that one massive question. How do I actually break through that barrier? How do I turn a really solid grade 7 into a top-tier grade 8 or 9? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down right now.
Seriously, this is the question, isn't it? It's the one thing that's probably on your mind. You feel like you know your stuff, but for some reason those highest marks just seem a little bit out of reach. So let's solve that puzzle, once and for all.
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Look at this. On the left, in yellow, that's your typical grade 6 or 7 answer. It states some facts, it makes a pretty basic link. It's fine, but it's not spectacular. Now look over at the green column. This is the elite level. We're not just listing things, we're analyzing how and why they happen. We're evaluating both sides of an argument, and this is critical. We're using precise, expert terminology. See, the jump isn't about memorizing more stuff. It's about a total shift in how you think and write.
So, here's our game plan for this session. First, we'll nail down that mindset gap. Then, we're going to pop the hood on your exam marks engine, the AOs. After that, we will master the beast that is the 9-mark question. Then we'll apply all of that to the hot topics that always come up, and we'll finish with a rock-solid strategy for exam day.
Okay, first things first. Let's talk about mindset. Because honestly, getting that top grade starts in your head before your pen even touches the paper.
So here's the deal. You've got to stop thinking like a student and start thinking like an examiner. What do they want to see? They want to see evidence for every single point you make. They want to see that beautiful, logical flow from just knowing a fact to applying it and then to making a judgment on it. And listen, on those big questions, that conclusion is where you secure the bag for a grade 8 or 9. Remember, it is always, always about the quality of your argument, not just how many random facts you can cram in there.
Right. Section 2. Let's talk about the engine that drives every single mark you get in that exam. Understanding the assessment objectives, the AOs, is completely non-negotiable if you're aiming high.
So first gear is AO1. Just know it. This is your foundation, your bedrock. When you see command words like state, name, or identify, the examiner is just testing you, have you learned the basic facts? And look at how many marks are available here. This knowledge has to be absolutely locked in tight.
Now we shift up a gear to AO2, apply it. This is where you start to separate yourself from the pack. It's where you take that theory and connect it to a real-world sporting context. So if the question says explain or describe, it's not enough to just state a fact. You have to show how it actually works for a specific athlete, say how a marathon runner uses aerobic training, or in a specific situation.
And here we go, top gear. This is for the elite marks. AO3, judge it. When you see words like evaluate, analyze, or discuss, that's your cue to light it up. This is all about weighing up different arguments, making a justified decision, and delivering a powerful, well-supported conclusion. This right here is where grade 9s are made.
Okay, section 3. Now let's see how all this comes together. We are talking about the final boss battle of your PE exam, the 9-mark evaluate question. Getting this right is the absolute key to a top grade.
Now, this slide, this is your blueprint. This is not a suggestion, it's the formula. To get top marks, you give your first argument and you back it up with evidence. Then you give the opposing argument and you back that up with evidence. You weigh them up against each other and then you hit them with that killer conclusion, directly answering the question they asked. You follow these steps every single time. Now, let's quickly look at what not to do. This answer here is just so vague. More money, a lot of pressure. I mean, it's just a list of simple, obvious points. There are no specific sporting examples, there's no analysis of why any of this matters, and there's definitely no final judgment. This is a classic mid-grade answer that's just stuck in first gear, all AO1.
Okay, now look at the night and day difference here. This is what we're talking about. We've got specific named examples, Marcus Rashford, Sha'Carri Richardson. That's your AO2 right there, beautifully applied. Then we have analysis of the impact of that pressure. Boom, that's your AO3. This answer doesn't just list points, it builds a sophisticated, balanced argument using real-world proof.
Which brings us to the golden key, the secret weapon. I want you to burn this phrase into your brain. Therefore, overall. Starting your final paragraph with these 2 words is a massive signal to the examiner. It screams, I am now making my final evidence-based judgment. This is how you explicitly hit that AO3 criteria and unlock those final grade-defining marks. Do not forget it.
All right, so we've got the structure, now let's apply it.
In Section 4, we're going to look at the high-value topics that come up again and again. The ones where using this elite structure and language will pay off, big time.
First up, let's talk Paper 1. These are the heavy hitters, the topics that have historically been worth a ton of marks. You can pretty much bet that you're going to see these on your exam.
And hey, the data doesn't lie. Just look at this breakdown. Training methods have been worth a whopping 68 marks over past papers. Fitness tests, 55 marks. Think about that. If you walk into that exam and you're not an absolute expert on these topics, you're basically just giving marks away.
Now this slide, this is absolutely crucial. This right here is the secret sauce that separates a grade 7 from a grade 9. Anyone can say the heart gets bigger, but you are going to say cardiac hypertrophy. You're not going to say more blood vessels, you're going to say increased capillarization. Using this precise Tier 3 scientific language proves to the examiner that you have a deep, thorough understanding of the topic. It's a massive green flag for a top grade.
Okay, let's flip over and switch our focus to Paper 2. It's the exact same principle. There are certain topics that the exam boards just love to ask about, year after year.
And the GOAT of Paper 2? It has to be commercialization, with a massive 57 marks. It's on the paper pretty much every single time. You must know the pros and cons inside out, and you have to understand that golden triangle between sport, media, and sponsorship. And look, engagement patterns and health are right up there too. Master these three for sure.
Right, home stretch. Let's pull every single thing we've talked about together into a clear, simple game plan that you can take with you into that exam hall. This is your pre-match strategy talk.
Okay, listen up. Here it is, your checklist for success on game day. Rule 1. Always read that command word first. That tells you if you need to be in AO1, 2, or 3 mode. For the big 9 markers, take 30 seconds to plan your answer. It'll pay off, I promise. Pack your answers with specific, named examples. And for every single evaluate question, you know the drill. Argue both sides, and then seal the deal with that magical phrase, therefore overall.
And that's it. It's not magic, it's a strategy. You already have the knowledge, and now you have the game plan to go in there and unlock those top grades. You have absolutely got this. Now go and get those marks.